Welcome back. Today we're diving into a new explainer, and let me tell you, this one is an absolute classic from the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata. We're going to explore how even the most perfect union, one that's backed by immense power and profound virtue, can be threatened by the absolute simplest of human emotions: jealousy. We are looking at a story where the ultimate shared bond becomes the very thing that could shatter an entire empire.
Picture this for a second. You've got 5 brothers. And not just any brothers, but powerful, incredibly skilled warrior kings who share an entire empire. But more than that, they share one single wife. How in the world do you maintain balance in a situation like that without tearing each other and your kingdom completely apart? That right there is the central dilemma the illustrious Pandava brothers are facing.
Section 1. The Kingdom of Peace. So, setting the scene here, the Pandava brothers have finally gotten their kingdom, courtesy of a command from Dhritarashtra. They are living in absolute utter bliss at Khandavaprastha with their wife, Krishna, who you probably know better as Draupadi. After years of bitter struggle, this is it. This is their golden era. They've got the land, they've got each other, and life is just perfect.
And things are going incredibly well. King Yudhishthira and his brothers aren't just ruling, they're ruling with total virtue. I mean, they're overflowing with wisdom and completely dedicated to truth. Plus, they've already vanquished all their enemies, so there are literally no external threats left to unite against, right? They're just sitting on their royal seats, handling all the duties of government in complete, undisputed unity. It is basically a flawless administration.
Section 2. A divine visitor arrives.
But you know how it goes. Perfection never lasts forever. One day, while the kings are seated, the celestial rishi Narada drops by. And the ancient protocol to welcome him is strict and honestly really fascinating. First off, Yudhishthira immediately gives up his own beautiful seat for the guest. Then, the wise king personally offers the arghya, which is a traditional offering of deep respect, with his very own hands. Finally, Draupadi, having purified herself and properly veiled, comes out to respectfully worship the celestial rishi's feet. Why does all this specific ritual matter? Well, it establishes Narada's massive, unquestionable authority in their court. When this guy talks, even kings have to listen.
Section 3. The Elephant in the Room. Okay, so Draupadi leaves the room, and Narada gets right down to business with the brothers in private. Think about it. Have you ever had a massive argument with a roommate or sibling over just sharing an apartment? Now scale that up to sharing a massive empire, and, way more intimately, sharing a single wife without letting jealousy take root. Narada points out the giant elephant in the room, saying, "The renowned princess of Panchala is the wedded wife of you all." He is forcing them to confront this huge vulnerability sitting right square in the middle of their perfect kingdom. And then he hits them with a really ominous warning. He basically tells Yudhishthira, you guys cannot rely on good intentions alone. You need to establish a rule amongst yourselves right now so that disunion doesn't tear you apart. They have to proactively set boundaries. Because if they don't, the sheer proximity and that shared love for their wife is inevitably going to breed jealousy, and that will absolutely destroy their brotherhood and everything they've built.
Section 4. The Tale of Two Brothers. To really drive this terrifying point home, Narada brings up a cautionary tale from former days, the story of Sunda and Upasunda. These two were celebrated Asura brothers, famous across all the 3 worlds. But here is the kicker, and why they matter to our story. They had this unique condition of invincibility. They were literally incapable of being killed by anyone in the entire universe, unless they killed each other. So their lives and their immense power depended entirely on their absolute unity. And honestly, their bond was next level. We're talking ruling the same kingdom, living in the exact same house, sleeping on the same bed, sitting on the same seat, and even eating from the exact same dish. They were infinitely closer and more entangled than even the Pandavas. They shared absolutely everything in what looked like an entirely unbreakable harmony.
Section 5. The Deadly Cost of Jealousy.
But as you might guess, things take a very dark and rapid turn. Despite that unbreakable bond, and sharing literally every waking moment together, this single, shocking truth shatters the illusion. They murdered each other. And why? They did it for the sake of a woman named Tilottama. That ultimate strength they had, their closeness, suddenly became their fatal weakness the second a shared desire drove them completely mad.
Now you can see why this parallel is a massive wake-up call for the Pandavas. On one hand, you've got our heroes, united in virtue, sharing a kingdom, and sharing a wife, Krishna.
On the other hand, you had these invincible Asura brothers, united in power, sharing everything, who ultimately slaughtered each other over one woman. Narada is practically pleading with Yudhishthira here. He's telling them to preserve their friendship by making a definitive rule right now, while there's peace, before jealousy blinds them and they end up with the exact same bloody fate.
Well, Narada's strategy works like a charm. King Yudhishthira is completely hooked, and his intense curiosity is sparked, just like ours is, right? He immediately starts rapid-firing questions at the great sage. Whose sons were these Asuras? Where did this massive fight even come from? And most importantly, who on earth was this Tilottama, for whose love these maddened, invincible brothers destroyed each other? Was she a water nymph, a celestial? Yudhishthira demands all the details. And honestly, it leaves us all with a burning question. What kind of presence could possibly be so intoxicating that it shatters a universe-defining bond?